everyone, my name is Quinn, my pronouns are they, them, and welcome to my channel, Lucid Moons. Today I'm here to do a super fun tarot tag called Midyear Tarot Tag. This is a VR to Chanel over at Chanel Days. I will link her original video down below, so definitely go check it out. I think I did this tag last year. I definitely did the end of year tarot tag. I think I did. But yeah, I'm really excited to check in again this year. Super fun prompts. You can probably hear by my voice, I'm a little bit sicky, a little bit under the weather, so I may have to pause a lot to go blow my nose and to cough. So I do apologize, but I definitely wanted to hop on and make a video today since I have a little bit of extra time this morning. So yeah, let's jump right in. Okay, so the first prompt is a deck that you've used the most so far in 2025. These questions are always a little bit tricky for me because I really intentionally spread my decks out throughout the year. I do a seasonal deck edit based on each month. So I select a group of like anywhere between like 8 to maybe like 15 decks. And I'm primarily just work with those decks throughout the month. And I really try to like get a little bit of playtime with most of the decks in my collection on a yearly basis. I have so many decks at this point where that's no longer a realistic goal for me, but I'm still able to get to most of them, maybe not all of them. But I did select a deck for a couple months to use as a bedtime practice. Sometimes I use the Seasons of the Witch series for a bedtime practice, but back in like late March, early April, I decided to choose the Threadbound Oracle by Cedar McLeod to pull a card before bed. Not every single night, but most nights. And I'll show you this box because it's so freaking cute. It looks like a little book. It's a little clamshell opening. Probably my favorite box ever. And I'm just such a huge fan of Cedar McLeod's artwork. Everything that they do is just fabulous. I have 3 out of their 4 decks, and I'm hoping to get the last one that I'm missing eventually. And I added my name here from the Library of Quinn. Just so precious. And what I would do for this practice is I would draw a card at night before bedtime. And as you can see, each card has like a title as well as some keywords. So it's really easy to use like right out of the box. You don't even need to go into the guidebook if you're feeling lazy, if you're tired, which oftentimes I am before bed. But you also can go into the guidebook, and the guidebook is just really sweet. I would say all of Cedar McLeod's decks that I've worked with so far, they're just really sweet, but I definitely wouldn't call them fluffy. They still tackle some really real topics. So they're not fluff decks, but they're just handled in a way that's just uplifting, beautiful, sweet, pure. The energy is just pure and it's very wholesome. This deck is based on books, libraries, reading, literature. It has a system. It has its own suits, which is really, really interesting to me. And I think it's just really unique. It's really fun. And it was just perfect for the practice that I was using it for. It was my first time actually working with this deck since purchasing it. And I just love it so much. I'm a Cedar McLeod fan through and through. I just think that everything they do is brilliant. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I got a lot of mileage out of it. And this is the Threadbound Oracle. All right, next up is a new deck that's came into your collection, and quite a few. But to just choose one that I'm really loving, I'm really obsessed with right now, is this gorgeous deck called the Flowers of the Night Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy. This has been on my wish list forever. I finally got it. I don't know, I feel like with mass market decks, a lot of times they sit on my wish list for a while because it's like, there's no rush, right? But I finally picked this deck up, and I'm obsessed. I'm in love. It's everything I dreamed of and more. It's a rock wool deck. These are the backs. They are shiny, so you probably will see my ring light in there a little bit. I'll do my best. But the amazing thing about this deck is it gives you this amazing keyword, and it also gives you a botanical. And then in most of the cards, there's also an animal that's not directly stated on the card. It is mentioned in the guidebook usually. So it combines animal energy, which is totally my thing, plant energy, which is becoming my thing. And then it just has these really like, kind of like classic Oracle keywords that are super expansive and just this beautiful artwork. So let me see here. I believe this artwork is, oh, it doesn't say on the back. It's like etched. I don't know what it's called, but it's like etched. And it's just so cool. It's so stunning. I think that this person may be from Australia. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are quite a few flowers that I recognize here in the Sonoran Desert down in southern and central Arizona, where I'm from. For example, the night blooming cereus. These are beautiful flowers that bloom overnight. We have them all over the place here in the springtime. Kind of had a late bloom this year, but we're starting to see them on the saguaro cacti and on some of the other smaller cacti around as well. And it's just absolutely stunning. I'm so happy to see botanicals that I actually recognize and have a connection with in this deck, because I think being a desert person, a desert witch, our flowers and our botanicals aren't always represented in a lot of the decks, which is fine. I want to learn more about like all kinds of plants, but I don't know, it just makes me really happy to see a few of these you know, plants that I'm familiar with. And this deck, I believe, focuses mostly on flowers, which is beautiful. I love flowers, and I just love all of these beautiful animals as well. I did a post on Instagram where I was playing with pairs with this deck, and oh my god, it pairs with so many. Like, I think I posted like 13 different tarot decks that I paired it with, and I could have kept going because I can already tell this is going to be one of the most versatile decks. And while I was playing, like, it wasn't just the aesthetics, like the messages were just beautiful. They were so beautiful. So yeah, really like this one. I'm interested to possibly get my hands on some of the other decks that this artist and creator has done. But yeah, this is the one I'm definitely most drawn to, just because of that really dark, beautiful, sacred, wise kind of energy that it has. So yeah, this is a gorgeous one. This is one of the newest oracles in my collection. This is the Flowers of the Night Oracle. Number 3 is a deck that could be better. And I really had to think about this one because I don't have a ton of complaints. You know, for this video, I kind of focused on newer decks into my collection, like end of 2024 and ones that I've brought in 2025 for the most part. And like really, I've been pretty happy with most of the decks. If I had to choose one, I would go with this one. This is the bag. This is a dog hair and cat hair catcher, as you can see. This is the bag for the Mermaid's Purse Tarot, but it is not, or Mermaid's Purse Oracle. This is not the Mermaid's Purse, though. It is the Mermaid Tarot, and really my complaints about this deck have nothing to do with the deck itself, as in like the artwork or the creator or anything like that. It's just the condition in which I bought this deck. So I have talked a lot on this channel about how I really like to purchase decks secondhand, and usually they come in really good condition, but I have had a few that have been come in kind of a little bit rough condition, and this one is probably the worst. So I have done a little bit of work here. So it was just I mean, the cool thing about it is it was just very well used, very well loved deck. And I got it for like $15, which is a great deal, but given the condition, it was not such a great deal because I've gotten like really pristine decks for that price used. And yeah, so it was a little bit of a disappointment when I actually opened it up and saw the condition. I have edged the edges. I've edged the edges. Is that what you say? In a combination of light and dark blue, but they're very like frayed. The edges are like thick, and so I don't know if you can tell, like it was quite a project to like get these saturated with the ink that I used, because they were like, they're just very frayed, and it had like a smell. I've perfumed the deck, which this glossy cardstock is not great for perfuming a deck, to try to like get the smell out of it. It wasn't like cigarettes, it was just like old. It was just like old and musty. So I don't know, I've tried to salvage it. I guess I should start showing the cards, shouldn't I? I've tried to salvage it. This is another one. It's a mass market deck that's been on my wish list forever. I know people, it's a divisive deck. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it. I've always wanted it. I've always thought it was just so cute, so whimsical, like diverse mermaids. One of the few diverse mermaid decks out there. And I just love it. I love like the elemental energy throughout. I haven't worked with it yet. It's going to come out in July when I work with all of my mermaid and ocean-y decks. This is a stunning star card. But I don't know, you know, there's a part of me that's like, Quinn, just go buy like a new one. But also it's like I spent all this effort to try to refurbish it and make it work for me. I think the part that bugs me is some of the cards were actually bent. And I'll see if I can find, here's one, and I kind of filled it in with the light blue so that it was a little bit less noticeable. I don't know if you can see, but there's a few cards that were actually, you know, damaged and bent, and honestly, the damage and the use isn't the part that bugs me. It's like the odor is really the worst part. And now that I've perfumed it, it is significantly better, but it still just has a slight, like if you actually sniff test it, it just smells a little funky, just very slightly. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, you know, I don't want to be wasteful. Here's another example. I also filled this one in with like a blue, but you can see there's a huge bend. So yeah, I don't want to be wasteful. But I may like try to resell it to Bookman's where I live. It's like a buy sell trade store where I do find a lot of my tarot decks in secondhand tarot decks. So I may try to just sell it back to them. I don't know if they'll take it because I also got rid of the box because the smell. So yeah, usually buying secondhand decks is amazing, but sometimes you do risk getting ones that are in poor condition, or like, you know, I shouldn't say poor condition, like very, very well loved condition. And I think that's really beautiful. And like, I love that. I love that whoever owned this deck just like used the shit out of it and like really got a lot of miles, and it's really broken in. It has that just like that loved energy, you know, which is beautiful. But I may want to repurchase this deck in a new or a newer condition. If you are buying used in person, it's always great if you can look inside the box. This one, sometimes Bookman's shrink wraps the used decks, and I believe that's what was the case here. So I wasn't able to see the actual condition, but sometimes they leave them open. So if you just ask, you can open and see. So I always recommend, if possible, if you're buying used in person, try to get a little look at the quality so you know what you're getting yourself into. So that was a little bit of a disappointment for me. Nothing to do with the art, nothing to do with the creator, the publication, anything like that. Just the condition that the deck came in itself. So that is the Mermaid Tarot. All right, next up is a deck that you're currently using, and I decided to show off the Dark Earth Tarot, another newer deck. It was a Kickstarter that I got in, and I am obsessed with this artwork. This is by Stephanie Alia, who has a few other decks, and the illustrations are by Kate Mulligan, and then there's a lot of other people who have collaborated on different aspects of this deck. But it's this beautiful... Home is Earth, expansion in the stars, we will journey soon. I love it. It's a very like cosmic kind of vibe. I love these backs. They are so much fun. I love that pink with the sacred geometry in there. And you got to choose from a few different options. I chose a green gilding, and it's this kind of like sparkly one. My one complaint is like I have barely used this deck. I mean, like, I used it a few times, but I don't know if you can see on camera, but the gilding is already very worn off in all four edges, which is kind of unfortunate. So I think maybe a different gilding would be good. I love a gilded moment, but I'm also totally fine with with naked edges, with virgin edges, you know, because sometimes gilding, like, yeah, it looks really cool, but it's just... be sharp, it can be painful, it can be a lot of things. So a lot of this deck is based on asteroids, which is really interesting, heavenly bodies, things like that. I really am in love with this color palette. Like, It is just so vibrant. It is so me. It pairs really great with the Desert Illuminations Tarot, with the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. Those are just a few that I've used it with. And it's just so much fun. It's been such a great deck to use in May. One, you know, complaint, it's not like a serious complaint. Some of it is a little bit like new agey for me. You all, if you've watched my channel, you know I'm not a fan of super like new agey woo-woo stuff. I think, as we know, a lot of it is really problematic. But from what I've read so far, like, it's handled in a way that I can deal with in the guidebook, and I think it's just done in a way that I can see as kind of like a fun time, a good mood time, and nothing too serious or too problematic from what I've seen so far. And above all, I just really, really love and appreciate this artwork and this color palette. It's just such a vibe, and I think it's a unique concept that they are like basing it on like comets and asteroids and things like that. Oh, it's just like freaking gorgeous. Look at this card. I love those colors. So yeah, this has been a really fun one. I've had a fun time pairing it, using it so far in May, and yeah, I'm a fan. I have their other Alcaringa Onoromancy, something like that deck, which I also love as well. And then they also made the Goth Tarot, something about Goth. I don't have that one, but super cute, super fun, super vibrant, just like a summer vibe, spring into summer vibe. And yeah, I'm loving it. So this is the Dark Earth Oracle. All right, next up is the biggest surprise. And honestly, I surprised myself with this one. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was kind of a wild unknown hater for a while. I was like, not for me, never gonna get it. And then, I don't know, it was like, once again, this is a thrifted deck. It was on sale for a steal, and I was like, you know what, it's calling to me. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see what the hype is all about. So yeah, I surprised myself more than anyone with purchasing this deck. And I mean, I'm not gonna like show too much of it, y'all, because like everyone knows this deck. It's an iconic deck, like, for real. But like, now that I have it, like, I really like it. I get it. I get the hype. I get the appeal. This deck was like really revolutionary in the community. It's a piece of tarot history. It's kind of like ushered in, you know, a lot of people think it kind of ushered in like the modern era of tarot, and like just the abundance of decks and different artists creating their own interpretations of decks. So, you know, I appreciate it, and I gotta say, the quality is really good. Like, I really like this sketchy artwork. I haven't worked with it too much. You know, I've done a play, I've done a pull. I haven't worked with it too much, but like, it's adorable. Look at that little rat. I love that for the Four of Cups. Like, are you kidding me? And this really like sketchy art style. I don't know. I think I had to like hold it in my hands in person and really like, you know, really give it a chance to understand it and to appreciate it. But I'm glad that I finally brought it in and I have it in my collection. I mean, I freaking love animal decks. I love nature decks. So it only makes sense. It only makes sense that I would be into it. I don't know why I was a hater. I think I was like, I'm not like other girls and whatever. But really, my tastes have expanded and grown a lot over the years of me reading and collecting tarot. And like, yeah, I have a new appreciation for it. And I really, really like it. So that was the biggest surprise. The wild unknown, I surprised myself. Next up, number 6 is your current deck crush. And I have a lot, but if I had to choose one, I would go with the Major Arcana by Leonora Carrington. Mwah, chef's kiss. This is freaking stunning, freaking gorgeous. I'm obsessed. For those of you who don't know, Leonora Carrington was a British, half Mexican artist who was born in 1917. And she was an artist, a spiritualist. She was into a lot of really cool spiritual things. These are the backs are like this reflective, like gray, kind of interesting. And she painted the major arcana throughout her lifetime. I believe most of these were painted in the 50s. She passed away in 2011, and no one knew about this. They didn't even discover these until 2017, which was 100 years after she was born, which is freaking crazy to me. And I am just such a fan. Like, I'm so happy to have my greedy little paws on this beautiful deck. It's by Folger Press. I'm not sure if it's currently available. It kind of has come in and out of print. So the last time I heard it was coming back, I like needed to get it. I just find this artwork so striking, so powerful, so esoteric. And something that I really love is it actually came pre-scented. All of the decks from Folger Press come scented with like a different perfume, or a different scent. And this one, oh, it smells so good. It's actually really strong. And I love it so much. It creates such a luxurious experience, I'm telling you. But this artwork is just gorgeous. She had a really, really deep understanding of tarot, and I find it beautiful. It's a majors only deck, which I'm no stranger to. I have quite a few majors only decks in my collection, and I do want to make a video here at some point showing them off, because I do have them. I do use them. I tend to pair them with other tarot decks. I normally don't pair tarot and tarot unless it's a majors only, and then I do tend to pair that with other tarot decks. I love that death card. Holy crap. And this High Priestess, the use of color is so striking, and I mean, it's majors, so let's just go through the whole thing. Like, why not? Really interesting. It comes with a nice little guidebook that tells you about her life and her studies, you know, when she created these cards. And yeah, she's a really interesting person, and this is just such a treat to have these kind of like lost relics from her life that she never published. She never tried to like make any fortune or receive any fame from them. I mean, she literally just created them. Like, how cool is that? And I'm just in love. I'm obsessed. They're beautiful. Oh, and we have the Fool for last. How beautiful is that? I love it. Definitely a deck crush. That is the Leonora Carrington Tarot. I'm really struggling to like pick these ones up. All right, number 7 is your favorite single card from a deck. This is from the Wandering Spirit Tarot. This is the first edition. This is by Hainuli Shin. I'm probably saying it wrong, sorry. They recently launched a Kickstarter for a new edition that was like silver and black, which was beautiful. But I was like, oh shit, I really want the old one. So I rushed to their website and I picked up a copy. It's another one that's been on my list for a while. And I was like, I just really like this gold, purple, and like cream color palette. These are what the backs look like. They're so pretty. And I really wanted to pick one up. I'm not sure if that version is going out of print. I'm assuming it is. There was only a few copies left, and I got like a B grade or a C grade or something like that. So the deck had a little bit of a slight damage, and then there's some printing quality issues on the cards, but I don't care at all because this deck is freaking stunning. And I just love this card so much. This entire deck is insane to me. Every single card has both of these characters, the girl, the skeleton, or just one or the other. And it's just insane to me how this artist was able to create a deck of just these two people and have so much expression and so much emotion and just variety in there. It's incredible. It's amazing. And the moon card is one of my faves. It's one of my birth cards as well. And I just love the moon. I have like, I think like 11 moons tattooed on my body or something like that. I need a recount. I'm just obsessed with the moon. So, and I think, you know, I was trying to decide what I was going to say about this card because, you know, the moon can mean so many things. It can be like, you know, illusions, fantasy, not seeing things clearly, or it can also be like illuminating the shadow. It can mean so much. But what I really love about this card is just like this raw emotion that it's expressing, and I don't even really know what emotion it is, but it just feels so like primal and so intense and beautiful, like worshiping the moon, naked in the nighttime out in a field or something. I don't know. I love it so much. I bought a it's like a fabric print, like a fabric, like little mini tapestry of this card, and I hung it up in my room so that I can look at it every day when I get out of bed. I just love it so much. I think it's so stunning. This entire deck is stunning. It's so beautiful. I'm obsessed. So yeah, this is my favorite current single card from a deck, and the reason why I know it's my favorite is because I actually bought a print of it. So this is from the Wandering Spirit Tarot. Next up is a deck that makes you happy, and I had to go with this amazing oracle. It's the Venice Witch Oracle by Lily Wen. This is so fun. It's also one that I'm currently using right now in May, and I'm having a blast with it. It wasn't originally a French publication, and it's come out in English, and I snagged it. It has the same kind of really cool like gilding. This is like a newer thing, like this kind of different types of gilding, kind of fun. I already gave my opinions on gilding, and these backs are really cute. I love this. I love the color palette here. Okay, we got a ring light glare going on, so I'll try to hold them up. And it's just a good mood deck. It's just a cutie. I love the vibrancy, the colors. It's in your face. It's sassy. It gives me queer vibes. Pretty simple keywords, but some interesting ones as well. And just like child, that's so sweet. I love that. I love these characters. They're sassy. They're fashionable. It's just a good time. I love this. Look at this. It reminds me of almost like a comic book or like a graphic novel kind of style artwork. And it's bringing me a lot of joy right now. I really, really like it. Beautiful empathy. Such a fun art style. This artist is so cool. And yeah, it's just been a good one. It's been a fun time. So this is the Venice Witch Oracle. The next prompt is a deck with a great guidebook. And I decided to go with the Mystical Dream Tarot. Came in a giant box, and I don't like giant boxes, so I am storing it in this little blue bag for now. I love these bags. They're really like, I don't know, that's silvery. Oh, they're beautiful. This is a newer deck to me. I also thrifted it. Woohoo! I think I've shown it before. I'll just quickly flip through a few of the cards. I know it's more about the guidebook. This artwork is stunning. This is a gorgeous deck. It's so intriguing. Just these interpretations of the cards are very out there, very dreamlike, very surreal, very different, very much trigger my intuition. And just this art style is just so cool. So it is a dreamwork deck. And I'm always, I have quite a few of those, which is funny because I don't usually remember my dreams, or when I do remember my dreams, they're like traumatic. Like they're either really boring, or like I'm working and I'm having like stress dreams about work, or they're traumatic. Like well, also about work. Like the other night I dreamed that there was like a school shooter. Like, are you kidding me? So I'm not currently doing a lot of like in-depth dream work, but I was looking at this guidebook, and like, look how much it gives you for the major arcana. It gives you so much, and it's not necessarily like, it does touch on like dream meanings, but it's more written as like almost like a narrative or a story. Like the language that's used is really, really beautiful. And then it gives you a little in a reading part that kind of like brings it back to real life, which is so cool. And then even for the minor arcana, it gives you a pretty chunky little page. So really a lot to dig into here. I love to see it. I love a good a good meaty guidebook, and then it also has quite a lot of additional information, spreads, things like that, you know, the typical stuff, but it gives you a lot of stuff. Sample reading, I love when they give you a sample reading, like in depth. How awesome is that? Look at all these spreads. So yeah, this is like a wealth of knowledge in here. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this and work with this deck. It's really cool, and just the art is stunning. So best guidebook of the year so far is definitely Mystical Dream Tarot. Next up is a deck that you want by the end of the year, or one that you're waiting on that you haven't gotten in yet. I'm waiting on a few Kickstarters. When Olga Speaks, so excited. That should be arriving any day now. I can't wait. I've been waiting forever for her to re-release that deck, and I'm so excited for that. So that one's coming in. I also am waiting on the Brady Tarot, which I'm super excited about. There's one called Earth Garden and Soul. I'll put the name and a picture up there. I can't remember what it was, but really beautiful, beautiful deck, almost like Japanese anime inspired deck that I'm super excited about. And then I recently just backed the Ukrainian Night Tarot. Oh my god, I've been following the creation of that deck for a while. It was an insta back. I'm so excited to see how well it's doing. It's made like over $150,000 at this point. It's crazy, and I'm not sure if that one's gonna come by the end of the year or not, but I mean, I'm just really excited for that. So those are some ones that I'm waiting on. And in terms of like my wish list, I really want the Mushroom Oracle and maybe a couple of those other Oracle decks. I honestly want all four: the mushroom, the seashell, the flower, and the crystal. I think if I had to, like, that's a large order. I think if I were to just buy like one or two, I'd probably go for the mushroom and the seashell first, but I eventually would like to own all four of those. And they also have a newer cat oracle, which is super cute. I don't know, I'll think about that one, but yeah, so those are some ones I'm thinking about bringing in for the rest of the year. So yeah, the next prompt is, which deck hasn't been used or has barely been used, but you want to work with this year? Let me grab it. This is the Akamara Tarot. This is a really, really interesting deck that I got my hands on secondhand. Well, you know, I think it's out of print currently. This is a deck that is based on the many different spiritual practices, symbols, etc. of the African diaspora, which is just so cool. And it's a niche in my collection that is lacking. And so there are a few decks in my wish list that are from Black creators, and that are a celebration of Black culture. And so when I saw this one, I was like, ooh, and it has this just like really gorgeous, oh, it's in order. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep it in order because I want to actually spend some time studying it. As you can see, a lot of the names have been changed, and it's just this stunning minimal artwork with the gold embossing. And look at this card. That is freaking badass. And for the lovers, how beautiful is this? So this is a part of my collection that definitely is lacking in terms of other decks. You know, so on this topic, I would love to bring in the Dust of Onyx Tarot. That is a freaking gorgeous deck. And as well as the Shine of the Black Medusa and a few others on my list. And this is one that I think really, wow, holy crap, Exile for the Hermit, damn. This is one that really wants to be like sat with and learned and respected and studied. So I really want to make a point of spending some time with this. I'm thinking in the darker half of the year this is going to come out, because it feels dark, but it feels magical, it feels powerful, and I'm really excited about it. Oh my god, Bondage for the Devil. Holy shit. Yeah, It's a really beautiful deck. So I'm super excited that I snagged this one, and definitely want to work with it this year, and spend some time and give it the attention it deserves. So this is the Akamara Tarot. Next up is the favorite video that you've made or watched so far this year. I'll share one that I've made. I think my favorite is the spring deck pairings. I will link it down below in the description box. If you know me, you know I am a pairing obsessed person. I love to pair my decks, and so I always have so much fun with pairing videos. I think I had some really good ones in there, some very much fun spring energy, so definitely go check that one out if you haven't seen it. And there was also a hashtag going around with the spring deck pairings as well, so go look at the video. If you look in the description box, there will be links to the original person that posted it and all the other ones you can find that way, so definitely go check them out and get you some spring deck pairs in your life. Last but not least, pull a card for the next 6 months or pick a card whose energy you want to bring in. I have I have pulled like cards for the year or cards for the month, both on camera and off camera before from tarot decks, and I swear I always get like a negative card. I think it was the end of year tarot tag. I pulled the Five of Cups for 2025 and I cried. So I'm gonna Chanel use an oracle. I'm gonna take a page from her book, and I'm going to do an oracle pairing or an oracle pull, because I'm not messing with that tarot for a message right now. I can't handle it emotionally. So let's do, this is what is this called? The Wilderness Collide. Unfortunately, this one is out of print right now. I don't know if they'll ever come back in print. I hope it does. But this artist is, what's her name? She has a mass market, Amanda Lynn Hales. She has a mass market deck out on the market that has a very similar art style. So if you're into it, go check it out. I can't remember the name, but it's a similar collage style deck. I'll leave that guidebook out because we probably will want to read the message. And I love this cardstock so much. I don't know what it is. It's like very slippy, very flappy, very thin. That's kind of my thing. All right, give it a good shuffle. So let's choose a message for the next 4 months. This one popped out. Ooh, we got a little lynx in there, and then we have bypass. Okay. Let me hold it up so you can see it. Beautiful. Okay. So, nice short message. There is something that you have been struggling against in vain, and now it is time to move on. This is not a give up or give in, but a realization that this particular thing is just not meant to be in this moment. The bypass teaches us that however much we may want to possess something, sometimes we must open up our hands and let it go. It is in the tightly bound boxes of our lives where the wild places fade away. Release control and be unbound. Ooh, I'm like, I have a couple ideas of what that could be about for me. Okay, so that was so fun. That was the Midyear Tarot tag. Thank you so much to Chanel from Chanel Days for creating this tag and for updating us every year. So much fun. I hope you all do a VR as well. I would love to see what you have to say about your tarot practice in 2025 so far. And also, if you've made it this far, go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here. And that's it. So no matter who you are and no matter where you are, I hope the rest of your day is filled with so much magic and so much joy. Bye-bye.